astronauts are scheduled for about 8.5 hours of sleep. When just trying to go to bed in space, however, there are a few problems that you're going to need to deal with. For example, microgravity, floating, everything around you is floating. If you're asleep, you can't pay attention to what you are floating into. So you might bump into a wall and wake yourself up in the middle of the night. Press a button or flip a switch that you don't need to know, it would not be a good time. So to prevent that entirely, we use these sleep restraint units. Now using this is pretty simple. It's kind of like a sleeping bag you might use for a camping trip. All you need to do is step inside and zip yourself up. We also have a restraint here. This goes over your forehead and it stops your head from hitting anything when you sleep. Now, some of you might be looking at this setup. You might be thinking to yourself, sleeping strapped to a wall like this really doesn't look very comfortable. Sleeping up here on the ceiling seems even worse. In an Earth's gravity, you would be absolutely correct. That would be a miserable experience. But in microgravity, something pretty interesting happens. You see, astronauts don't have the same perspective of up and down, left and right, floor and ceiling that we do on Earth, since they don't have gravity pulling down at them as a rocket. Essentially, they can pick any direction at any given time to be that way. In other words, what I'm trying to say is one astronaut could sleep right over here, strapped to the wall. One could be up here on the ceiling. One could lay flat like we normally do, and they would all feel exactly the same. They would not be able to tell the difference. That's not the only new perspective astronauts get when flying in space. One of the cool perks of being an astronaut, flying up to the ISS, you get a view of the Earth. It's really unlike anything else. You get to see it from a distance as this blue orb floating in the giant sea of space. It's a world without borders. These astronauts and cosmonauts from many different countries and cultures are able to put their differences aside for a little bit and work together towards common goals. And when they return to Earth, they very often like to talk about that new perspective, a greater understanding of what it means to live on our planet. Like I said, everything that happens here on the ISS is a learning experience. Take those learning experiences, we can not only apply them to the situations we have here on Earth, on our planet, but we can take those to our future goals, like sending astronauts to the moon, the Artemis program, the Lunar Gateway Space Station. And one day, sending astronauts to another planet for the first time. Put that first small step. Take that first human movement and put it on the surface of Mars for the very first time. None of that would be possible without what we're learning from the ISS each and every day. A fun fact, while we've been talking for the past 20 minutes, the real International Space Station has traveled a distance of about 5,700 miles. To put that in perspective, that's about the distance from here in Houston, Texas, all the way over to Barcelona, Spain. So since the actual ISS cruise is a little bit far away right now, if you have any questions about the International Space Station, space science, or anything related to that, I'll hang around the stage for a little bit after the show. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'd love to meet you guys for a bit and answer any questions as fast as I can. And once again, my name is Josh. Thank you all so much for coming out to see the show, and I hope you enjoy your time here at Space Center Houston. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Question.
Yes.
They got